In a world where the location was the only thing you had to guess, suddenly, Storpy was confronted with a situation where the time had to be guessed as well. That was TimeGuessr. There was TimeGuessr. Welcome to TimeGuessr. I saw this on another channel and I thought it looked quite fun. You get to guess 5 rounds for a maximum of 5,000 points per round to get the time right, which is the year the photo was taken, and also the location the photo was taken. So, let's just get straight into it. Wow. Okay. Right, so this is going to be nice slow going. We're going to have to really work out what we're doing here. So, should probably preface this by saying I'm not very good at history. I like it, but I'm not good at it. And I don't remember dates very well. And I'm not very good at guessing fashions and things. So, let's get stuck in on this one. We're clearly in the USA because everyone looks USA-ish. The vibe is generally USA. And also you've got a lovely American flag up here. Unless we're in Liberia and I can't see it properly. So, we've got some beautiful turquoise teal pants here. Very nice. I mean, we should probably talk about the things that are in the middle of the shot first, shouldn't we? These absolutely ripped guys. Proper bodybuilding type stuff. Where have they been? What have they been doing? They've got little swimming trunks on and a little towel. It looks like they're at the beach. I can see a yacht in the background. That looks like the sea there. We've got sand. It's a beautiful sunny day. Everyone's relatively warm. You know, this guy's wearing a shirt and trousers. This guy's wearing a hoodie. But, yeah. When do we think this was? Let's sort of narrow it down a bit, shall we? So, do I think we'll go from more recent to less recent? Do I think it's in the 2020s? Absolutely not. Do I think it's in the 2010s? No. In the 2000s? No, I don't think so. I think her hair, that's almost sort of perm hair. And I think perm was at its height, like what, the 70s, 80s, 90s? What about these guys? It doesn't look so modern, but it also doesn't look ancient. The more I look at it, the more modern it could be. This is just the date we've got to get here. I'm thinking about the location as well, but it's clearly the USA, so we'll get to that. Right, we've got no one on a mobile phone, no one taking a selfie. This doesn't look like it was taken on a mobile phone, so I'm going to say it predates selfies. It predates mobile phones to an extent. What's that in his pocket? That could be a mobile phone. Let's assume it's not. All the watches I can see look to be analog watches. They don't appear to be digital. But saying that, I mean, that could be digital, I guess. This is a tricky one, isn't it? What are you thinking so far? Comment down below. Right, I don't think there's much else we can get. We don't see any cars. We don't see any other sort of giveaways when it comes to the year. So I think what we're going to go with is, could it be the 90s? Yes, I think it could, but I think it's more likely to be earlier than that because, I don't know, just her general get-up. And yeah, and he's got the old mullet going on as well. This guy looks to be a bit older than that. These guys give me an 80s vibe. Well, this guy especially. I think it might be the hair, but I'm not sure. He gives me an 80s vibe a bit as well. These trousers, I don't think would exist post 90s. These little tiny teeny shorts wouldn't exist after then either. I reckon we're going to go 80s here, late 80s. That's what I think we're going to do. So we're going to go 1987. That feels late enough to me, and that feels reasonable. I might push it to 88. There you go. 88. Job done. Now we've got to decide where we are. I think we're clearly in the United States, based on the flag and the general gist. Are these famous people? I don't recognise them if they are. Good lord. What is this chap doing now? Not in a K-hole somewhere. That was far. That wasn't nice. Let's look at where we could be. So my initial thing would be to say Miami, right? Because it's... Oh, tell you what, we can see their shadows. Assuming that it's around midday because, you know, everyone's out at the beach and it doesn't look particularly golden houry, so it's not going to be morning or late afternoon, evening. Assuming it's roughly midday, the shadows coming from over there, which is across the sea, so that means the sun is beaming down from the sea, which is going to be roughly the south. So I think they're going to be on a south-ish beach. I reckon it could be down here. You know, they've got sort of... Oh, those don't look like beaches, do they? I thought Miami was just full of beaches. Where are the beaches in Miami? Do you have to go all the way down here? Hard Sound Road. No, maybe not. Is this Miami? Yeah. I thought it was. Miami Beach, there you go. Okay, so that appears to be facing pretty much east. You know, if it's a morning, yeah, I can see that being right. I still think we might be here. We've got what looks to be a sort of basketball court or something there. Some path pavements here. Muscle Beach, South Beach. They could be coming back from Muscle Beach. Do you know what? I think we're going to go there. We're going to say it's about there. We've got a public bathroom. We've got other stuff to the right there as well. I think that's where we're going to be. Miami, just because it's beach capital in my mind in the USA. It's where, you know, these kind of people might hang out and go to the beach. There's lots of boats and things. I've seen Dexter. All right, that's pretty much what I'm basing this on. Yeah, 1988. That beach in Miami. Shall we go for it? South Beach. Make the guess. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've dropped a hell of a lot of points there, sadly. 5,693. We got almost 5,000 for the year. Oh, so we get 10,000 per round. Okay. We got nearly 10,000 for the year, 5,000 for the year. We were 1 year off. They were Californian bodybuilders on Venice Beach. Venice Beach traditionally being in Los Angeles. So yeah, looking at the sun there, considering the photo was taken, what, facing that way? What does that mean? It's facing that way. We're looking out there. I suppose we're looking sort of slightly to the south as well. So the photo's facing that way, pretty much directly into the sun. The sun was down there. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's a shame. California was my other idea. Somewhere in California. I've probably gone Los Angeles, but you never know which it's going to be, and the US is such a wide country. So I only got 743 for that location, 3,700 kilometers away. Good year though. All right, that was a good start. We see what we have to contend with next. Oh, okay. Now this is where history comes into play. Is this some large rally or some large event? Oh, hang on. Right, I've seen some interesting things. We've got Union Jack flags. I know they're not necessarily called the Union Jack, but just common parlance, it's the Union Jack. We've also got what looks to be an American flag there. I don't know if that is. We've got I can never remember. It's either Australian or New Zealand flag there, the one with the UK one in the corner and then other shit round the side. Not to not to poo-poo your flag or anything, but that's my description of it. But the interesting thing that I see is here, God Save the Queen, okay, property to Ireland. Property to Ireland. And there's definitely some kind of procession going on down here because everyone's lining up looking down there. What an amazing photo this is. So that's the assurance company. That crown. What is that crown? So there's too many Union Jack flags flying, or UK flags flying, for this to be Ireland, surely. They're not going to be flying all these. And what are these small bunting-y flags? Can't really tell. I mean, we've got one there that looks like it could be, I mean, the English flag, I guess. Swedish flag? I mean, come on. It can't be those, though. Right, so initially I thought it might be Ireland, just because of property to Ireland. And it might still be, but I wouldn't have expected so many UK flags to be flying, unless, like, what year was this going to be? Everyone's wearing a hat, so it has to be, you know, at the latest 1940. I would say earlier, based on the garb. No cars to be seen, so we might be even earlier. I think we can go down to 1900 here. So what do we think? Just gonna have another look into. Oh, hang on. Yeah, National something something of Ireland, that says. Assurance company. So maybe we are in Ireland. And that begs the question, why would there be all these things up? You know, what sort of year would all that be happening? Is this Commonwealth? Are we celebrating Commonwealth here, which is, you know, Great Britain and all of the you know, Commonwealth countries? Well, it's got to be Ireland, and my initial thought... See, that crown reminded me of Ireland, and I don't know why. Is that the Guinness crown? It can't be. That's really racist. It's not racist. Dublin. I think we go Dublin, don't we? I've been to Dublin once for about 24 hours for a work thing, and I was so ill. But I still really enjoyed myself. A lovely, lovely place. It's going to be somewhere fairly central, I'd have thought, because a big procession, assurance company. I mean, we could find it, I suppose. The Irish Emigration Museum, you know, all these sorts of things could really show us. International House Dublin. Really, it's anyone's guess at this stage. I'm not going to go like scrolling through the map to try and find exactly the right building and still not be able to find it. So I think what we'll do is go somewhere relatively... There's a rounded bit of street with some rounded buildings on the side. Let's go there. Plus it's going to look a lot different from how it does these days. And I think that's, you know, central enough that will be good enough for us. The Molly Malone statue. Okay. So we've got Ireland, we've got Dublin. I think I'm happy with that. What I'm not happy with is the date. So God Save the Queen. Actually, that does help. When did... So Queen Victoria, this is where I get rubbish. Queen Victoria died in 1899, and we can't choose 1899, so it's not that. So God Save the Queen there. The King, shit, who was it? We had King Edward. I remember King Edward was on the throne in 1910 because of Mary Poppins. There's a song in it where they say, King Edward's on the throne in 1910, it's the age of men, and stuff. So, you know, watch more Disney. That's the lesson here for all you children and adults alike. I think... And then Queen Elizabeth, what did she have last year before she died? She had a what was it? It was a massive, massive deal. Was it 50 years? It wasn't 50 years in power, because that means she'd have come in 1970. 75 year? You can tell I don't keep up with these things. 75 years of reign, I think. That sounds wet. Right, stop it, come on, we've got to get on with this. It's already been half the video's length and I'm barely even out of the second round. Okay, so she got coronated, what, in the 40s? Late 40s? No, early 50s maybe. But this doesn't feel like the 50s. And there wasn't another queen. It was King George after King Edward, wasn't it? God Save the Queen. So I reckon, just based on this, that is old and hasn't been taken down, and that's still for Queen Victoria. And all these people, what do they look like? I mean, people like her, everyone's wearing black. There's a little boy wearing a bloody full uniform. Everyone has a hat and a suit, a shirt. Policemen look old-fashioned. This woman here is wearing like a bustle and a petticoat and all that sort of jazz. But then did that continue into the 30s and 40s? It's a toss-up for me. It's either, you know, 1900 I'm going for, or it's like 1940 something, 1950. How old was the Queen? What was she celebrating? It was 75 years, wasn't it? Well, that takes us to about 40s, 50. So we're going to go for that. We're going to make it, I think it's silly to go too early because it's just on the fact that they've not taken the God Save the Queen sign down. I think we're going to have to go for 1950. 1952. It feels much older than that to me, but I don't know what the fashions were like in Ireland at that stage. Now it's too late. It's too late. I'm going to go back to 30. I'm going to go back pre-war. It doesn't make sense, but I'm going to go back pre-war. So we're going to go 1936 and make the guess. What? Crowd gathering to see Queen Victoria I on College Green. Right, so I got the College Green. That's close enough. I'm happy with the location this time. But it was Victoria I. The fashions were really old. I thought she died in 1899. Maybe it was 1901 then. I know it was like a year, one of the years either side. But she just saw in the 20th century. Interesting. Oh, that is really gutting. I almost went for 1900. You saw me. You saw me, you saw me, you saw me. And I'd have got 5,000 points. But I was 700 meters away, so you can't go too wrong. But I should have gone. Everything told me that was too late. 1950 and 36 just didn't make sense. I even said that. But let's move on. Let's use our knowledge next time. Now this could be a bit easier. There's a book that says Ireland, which is interesting. Okay, well, we'll get to the books. Clearly, we have Bill Clinton there, central. We also have, is that Hillary Clinton there? I think it might be. I can't quite tell. I've never really seen her from that angle, and I was quite young when this sort of thing was going on. Oh, aren't they all having fun? This looks to be, is this Bono? They look like they could be rock stars. I mean, he's got the purple tinted glasses, so maybe it is Bono. Was he Irish? Well, either way, it's Bill Clinton. This has to be in the White House. Like, looking outside, this looks like it's got to be the White House area. We've got flags, we've got all these bookshelves and everything. I think we're going to go with the White House, which is in Washington. Somewhere in Washington. Not quite sure where. Is it near the International Spy Museum? Washington Monument, the White House. Sure. Let's say we're in the East Wing. No, the family dining, no. It doesn't matter, we're there, we're in the East Wing. Okay, and I think that's Bono. But we'll see, it'll tell us. I'm really excited. So, Ireland, okay, I'm going to look in a bit closer so you might not be able to see or hear me. Friends of Art and Preservation in something 10th anniversary. I was hoping that would give me a good year, but it doesn't. I'm leaning in for big kisses. I don't recognise anyone else. Bill Clinton, now. He was pre-George Bush. This is where more crap knowledge is going to come in. So he was pre-George Bush. What do I know about Bill Clinton? He had the thing with Monica Lewinsky, and that was in the 90s. When did George Bush come into power? When did he leave power? That was about 2006. So say he did 2 terms. He came in 98-ish. That's 2 terms for 4 years each, isn't it? He came in 98, so Bill Clinton would have been, I think he was 2 terms as well, so perhaps he was like 80, I mean, what, 98, yeah, 1990 to 1998. What would I say this is? I'd say it's early to mid-90s for sure. U2, if that's even Bono. U2, what did they do? They did things. They've been around for ages. So I think we're going to go with... We're definitely going mid-90s. I've got 1995 in my head, and I don't know why, but Bill Clinton does look relatively young-ish. It's as good a guess as any. Like, halfway through his term, he's just started a new one. He's all happy. He's celebrating with Bono about Ireland. There you go. 1995. Go. Oh, 1998. Right, okay. President Clinton and the First Lady Hillary Clinton visit with the band U2 at the US ambassador's residence in Dublin, Ireland. Should have known because of Ireland. I wonder if there's anything else that would have given away the fact that it's not the US. Bugger. Maybe it didn't look so stately, to be fair. But it's the US ambassador's residence. So we were a long way away, sadly. Thank goodness we went Eastern United States. Thank you for the positioning of the White House there. 1998, we were 3 years off. We knew we were going to be within that region. Okay, not bad. Another 5,000 points. We can definitely improve on this the next time we play. Now this is where it gets really, really tricky. Sorry about the sort of massive gap of sludge colour in the middle of the screen, but that's just how it's gonna be. Actually, it might look different if I wasn't in dark mode on my browser, but there you go. What year is it? And where is it? Okay, I don't recognise any of the uniforms. I can't see any flags on it. So I don't know if this is the US military. I don't know if this is the Russian military. I don't know if it's the UK military or French military. My guess, based on the clothing and the style of grenade they've got there, maybe, and the quality of the picture and the look of the people. Although that bit of gun there looks quite modern. My guess, was going to be that it was First World War. I don't know why, there's not something that screams Second World War to me about there. So I think it's First World War. And I did just recently watch All Quiet on the Western Front, which was pretty good. And it's giving me that kind of vibe. I don't think they're American. And I don't think they're British either. I think these could be somewhere in Europe. Who was involved in the First World War? This is tricky. Okay, well, we're not going to spend too long on this. First World War was 14 to 18, I believe. And they look quite happy, so we're going to say it's at the start of World War I, 1914. Boom. What kind of people are these? They're German soldiers? So it was like Germany versus France, wasn't it? I don't think anyone else... Did anyone else up here get involved in World War I? They must have done. It was called World War I. I'm going to go with them being German. But they're all decorated though, that's the thing. Which means maybe it's at the end of the war. They don't look particularly shell-shocked or knackered. No, we'll stick with the start of the war. I don't know how these things work. And to be honest, we're going to go right on the border, because I do not know. We're going to go right on the border here, between all three countries. Germany, Luxembourg and France. We'll go on this side. Okay? I can't do much better than that, because there's just nothing for me to go on in terms of my knowledge. I don't recognise any... Hang on. He says, is that the Soviet flag? It looks like the sickle and the thing. Okay. That could change things somewhat. Maybe Russia was involved. I think we're going to go up to Russia. We're going to go to Moscow. We're going to put it down there. I don't know if this is going to be right by any stretch. So we're going to go there. In the centre of Moscow. Where's a nice wooded area? There you go. There's a nice bit of park. So maybe they were there. I can see some woods and things in the background. 1914? I'd say that's probably still about the right kind of time. Let's go. Oh, it's really gutting. It was World War II. A Soviet officer on the left and a Finnish corporal comparing their watches during the ceasefire of the Continuation War. 1944. Oh, so we were miles off with the year. Got the year wrong. It was the 40s. The end of World War II. And the location. We were right to change our mind and to notice that Soviet thing. That was really helpful. But yeah, if only we'd known that he was Finnish. Should have noticed they've got slightly different coloured uniforms on. So that's interesting. Oh, Viborg. Yeah, I've read about this place. What a lovely a lovely snapshot of history. Presumably, like, Finland and Russia, had they been fighting? I don't know. Probably not. But, yeah, lovely. Anyway, next round. I can't remember how many rounds we've had now, but we're on the next round. Okay. Right. Festival International du Film de La Rochelle. We are probably in France. Service continu, tabac presse, drague. Can't read what that says. Cool, we're in France. Probably Paris. Looks to be fairly busy, fairly metropolitan. I've been to Paris, looks a bit like this in places. If they've got film festivals and things, perhaps, then they're all lining up waiting for something. Perhaps we're talking about Paris again. I can't see any street signs that would tell us that. No, I can't see any signs. So we're going to go Paris. That's an easy start. And where are we going to go in Paris? This is such a huge place. Let's go over here. There you go, near a musée. Next up, what year do we have? So we've got someone who's clearly down on his luck and he's not doing very well there. Is that a pint of Guinness he has there? I don't know. He's having a look at him. Bit of a difference here, isn't there? It's quite an interesting photo. These two look like my old next door neighbours. Hi guys. The year though, it's not the 2020s, because the fashion's just a teeny bit off. Could be the 2010s, perhaps. I could see this being the 2010s. Don't forget, we've got mostly older people here as well, which will be influencing the fashion decisions. Bike with something on it, can't quite read that. Anything else that would betray the year to me? Wish I knew this film. La Rochelle. That's not a place in France, is it? It could be, but I'm not looking for it. Oh, La Rochelle, you know what? It is. We're going here. I'm really glad I checked that. I'm not going to spend ages looking for what this place could be. But it's clearly like a cinema or something, a really prestigious cinema. Mecha Fluid. Sounds cool. No, I can't see anything there. I don't think it'll be in this area because this looks like it's inside. Alright, we'll just go there. Right in the middle of the college. And La Rochelle, great. The year again. Is it as early as the 2000s? I think it could be. Is anyone on their phones? He looks like he could be... No, he's reading something. Again, we've got an older audience, but I can't see any phones anywhere. I can't see anyone taking a selfie, talking on a mobile, reading the news on a mobile. So it would suggest perhaps we're in the 2000s. Definitely later than the 90s. Do you know what? I'm going to go like 2010. That's going to be my guess. Because even 2010 is starting to look a bit dated now when I look back at it. Let's go. 2010, La Rochelle. Boom! We are in La Rochelle and we were up here. Okay. Drunk man sleeps outside of CGR Dragon Cinema during the 44th International La Rochelle Film Festival. And I was only 6 years off. My best score by a long way so far. 6 years and I still dropped, what's that, 1,600 points. The location was good. Glad I changed it to La Rochelle. And that's great. And that's us. That is us finished. Final score, please. My final score is out of 50,000. Oh my god. Can you just tell me my final score? Hang on. Maybe it's because there we go. Okay. Lovely. I need to be on the light mode in order to see it. But there you go. We are 27,772 out of 50,000. Not a great score, all things said. I'm sorry it's so light, by the way. I should have done something about this. Never mind. You're not looking at me. TimeGuessr, 27772. Have you played this? give it a go. See if you can beat my score. I'll definitely be able to beat this. If you've enjoyed this, let me know. I want to do more of these because that was actually pretty nicely made. Quite a nice game to play. Interesting things to talk about. Excuse me. Let me know what you think, and I'm looking forward to playing something else for you again. Anyway, have a lovely rest of the day. Take care. Be nice to one another. Love and peace. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. That's that button. Smash!